Hey guys, I'm Danny and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in today's video, in honour of the Game of Thrones Season 7 finale episode, which airs today in the UK, I thought I would show you how I created my version of a White Walker dragon. Now, I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to post any spoilers, but I'm really excited for this episode, so I hope you guys like this makeup, and if you want to find out how I created this, just stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is block out both of my eyebrows. Now again, I'm using the glue stick method to do this. So what you want to do is take any washable school glue stick and you want to run this through your eyebrows, forward and back against the hair and with the hair, just to make sure that each hair gets coated in a nice layer of this glue. Let that layer dry and then you want to go back in with a spatula and you want to apply a nice thick layer of that over the eyebrow as well. Now with this you can take a little bit of warm water and just spray it onto your finger and use that to help smooth the glue into your skin so you don't get any harsh lines or edges. And you should then be left with something like this. You just want to let this layer of glue dry down as well. And then I'm just taking a face powder. This is the HD finishing powder in Banana by NYX, but any powder will do. And I'm just taking that on a dome shadow brush by Real Techniques and pushing that powder into the glue to help set it in place and also remove any of the shininess that the glue might have. And then I'm just going to pop down a base of white face paint all over my entire face, neck, ears and head. Now I'm using Superstar's white face paint here and a Real Techniques contour brush, which as you guys know is my favourite brush for applying face paint with. And then one advantage of me being bald and follically challenged is I don't have to worry about bald caps anymore. Hooray! But if you have got hair and you want to apply a bald cap, pop it on before you start doing the painting. If not, you know, be a hairy dragon. I'm then just going to set that face paint in place using Ben Nye's Super White Face Powder and a large brush. Now that the base is all done, I'm going to start work on the eyes. So first of all, I am taking a baby blue eyeshadow. This is Home Sweet Home by Sugarpill, and I'm going to start contouring out the bridge of the nose a little bit, and also taking that colour through what will be my new eye socket. So you just want to follow this underneath where your natural eyebrow would be. Once you've got that colour down, you want to start brightening that up using a more vibrant blue eyeshadow. This is After Party by Sugarpill, so you just want to put that over the top of that blue and blend it out using a large fluffy brush. I'm then taking that same vibrant blue eyeshadow and going to darken up the outer V of the eye and connect that with the new crease. And I'm also going to drag this same colour underneath the eye as well, but leaving the inner third of the eye completely free of this, but dragging the blue down in a straight line so that it almost connects with the nose bridge contour. Then taking Velocity by Sugarpill. Now this is a royal blue eyeshadow with a slight purple undertone to it. I'm going to use this to darken up the outer V of the eye as well as that inner section of the nose contour. Now with this you want to then just buff that into the other two blue eyeshadow shades that you've got down to create a nice seamless transition between all three shades. This is going to really help add depth to the look. I'm then just using a small detail brush and After Party just to create a fake eye bag underneath the eye, and I'm just going to go back in with that slightly larger brush just to blend and soften that line out a little bit. I'm then going to darken up the inner corner even more with some Bulletproof by Sugarpill. This is a very, very pigmented black eyeshadow, and I'm just going to blend that black into the blue eyeshadows using a large dome shadow brush by Real Techniques. And then with whatever pigment is left on that brush, I'm just going to run this black eyeshadow up through where my natural eyebrow would be, creating this kind of straight line, and then just blend that into the existing blue eyeshadows with a little bit more of that Velocity colour. And then taking a small detail brush and that same black eyeshadow, we're going to start plotting out the lines for our new dragony eyebrows. So the easiest way to do this was just to simply create a C shape in the middle of our two eyebrows and then drag that colour up onto the forehead into a point and then connect that line with the inner corner of the eye like so, so that you end up with this sort of like tadpole shaped eyebrow. I'm then going to outline my eyebrows using the SFX Cream colour by NYX in black, but if you haven't got this, use a black face paint or a black eyeliner, it'll be fine. I'm then just taking a tiny little shader brush and I'm just going to blend out the edge of that line into the white face paint, but you want to make sure you still have a nice sharp line on the inner section of the eyebrow. And I'm then just going to make the eyebrow area more angry by adding in some wrinkles and making a bit more of a furrowed brow by using that same black cream paint, and then just blending out the bottom edge of each one of those lines with a small little fluffy brush. And I'm doing the exact same thing with the eye bag that we put down earlier. I'm just going to run the black through the middle of that line so that you can still see the blue around the edge of it, and then just buff that black into that blue eyeshadow so that you get a nice transition and a nice seamless line. I'm doing the same thing with the line underneath my eye because this is going to act as our new waterline, and I'm taking that black as well through the crease of the eye to add a bit more depth there too. I'm using After Party eyeshadow to contour my cheekbones. Now when I do my contour, I like to take the line from the top of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth, and then at the top section I like to blur that colour out into the hairline so that you get this nice sort of fade, but then with the rest of the contour I like to make sure that I'm only blending downwards so you get the nice sharp line of that cheek contour. And I'm also going to darken that up a little bit using Velocity eyeshadow, as well as contour the temples. Now for the temples you want to create a C shape first of all with the lighter of the two blue eyeshadows, and then take a small amount of the darker blue eyeshadow and concentrate that colour to the edge of that C shape, and then blend that out into the other blue eyeshadow. You can then darken this even further by adding a small amount of black eyeshadow to the very edge, as well as adding this black into the contour line of your cheekbone as well. Now for my nose, I don't want this to smudge at all, so I'm using a black aquacolor face paint by Creme just to create 2 points at the top of my nostrils on the tip of my nose, just to elongate those nostrils out and make it look a little bit more dragon snouty, as you can see. I'm then taking that cream paint that we were using earlier just to add a few more wrinkles to my nose, as well as outlining my actual nostrils to make this area look a little bit more round. I'm then taking the SFX cream colour in blue this time, and I'm going to create circles of various sizes all along the contours of my cheekbones and temples. This is going to act as my dragon scales as such. I didn't want anything too harsh or too complicated and complex for this look, as obviously there's quite a lot of detail going on already in the face, so I wanted to keep the skin or the scales quite simple. So I'm just creating these circles of different sizes, and then I'm going to fill those in using the SFX cream in white. I also wanted to create some slightly more subtle scales, so I'm using the white SFX cream again, and this time not doing a blue outline first of all, and I'm just going to do these dots of various sizes to represent the scales connecting the contours together from the cheek to the temples. I then repeated exactly the same steps on my forehead, but this time with the scales going into a point. Right, ignore the mouth. I absolutely hated this mouth, so I've wiped it off in the end, but just ignore it for the time being. What I'm doing here is I'm applying a small amount of Prozaid using a cotton bud onto the top of my cheekbones, and I'm then going to apply some spikes that I made. Now, I made these spikes using Crayola Model Magic, which is an air-drying light clay. It dries into almost like a foam, so these spikes weigh absolutely nothing at all, so they're not going to fall off because they're not going to be too heavy. So I'm going to apply 5 spikes to each of my cheekbones, and I'm also going to apply 2 great big horns that I made out of the same material to the tops of my forehead. And here I am removing the hideous mouth. Now, just literally taking a makeup wipe, I'm going to wipe that away. That is the beauty of working with water-based paints. If you make a mistake, you can simply wipe it away and paint over the top with your original base face paint. So I'm just taking that white base and just putting that on again. And then for the mouth, I decided to keep it nice and simple. So I literally created a line that runs from the inner corner of the mouth and goes up in a curved line towards the first spike of the cheek contour. This is going to give us that sort of dragon pointed mouth effect. I'm then going to make my chin more pointed by using After Party eyeshadow again and connecting my chin contour up towards my cheekbone contour just to make that whole area more elongated and pointed, and I'm going to darken that up using Velocity eyeshadow. I'm then taking After Party over the top of my non-existent jawline to make that area look a little bit more sculpted. I'm then taking a black liquid liner, this one is by NYX, and I'm going to connect the two mouth lines together, but only via the top lip. I'm using a black liner because this dries down instantly and I don't want any transfer onto the lower lip because we want to keep this sort of shape that we've got going on here. And then for my neck and chest area, I just painted the entire area with the white face paint by Superstar. And then I just set that white using that same white face powder as earlier. And for the neck and chest details, all I did was take After Party on a detail brush and create two blue lines running all the way from my neck down onto my chest and blended those inwards. And then I created two more blue lines running from the top of my jawbone all the way to my collarbones, and then extended that collarbone line over my shoulders. And then we're going to create another two pointed triangle shapes coming from my armpits up towards my collarbones. And then I'm going to darken up all of these lines using Velocity eyeshadow. Now I'm going for more of a White Walker style chest, obviously to bring that sort of element into this makeup. So I want everything to look really sunken and as if it's like rotten, like the flesh has come away from the body. So I'm just going to concentrate that darkest colour next to the line and blend it out into the other blue eyeshadows. And then to add even more depth, I'm just going to take a small amount of black and just darken up those very edges of those lines. I'm then taking the NYX SFX Creme in white again, and on the centre portion of my neck I'm going to create three large ovals and then three lines in between those ovals. Basically this is going to represent the dragon's throat. I wanted this to have a really sort of skeletal look to it because obviously we are doing a White Walker dragon. White Walkers are essentially really skinny, wasted away zombies, so I wanted my dragon to have that same look to it. I'm then going to shade in between each one of those lines using Velocity eyeshadow and a little tiny bit of black just to add depth to this area. Now that we've done that detail, I'm just going to take a small amount of Prosade again and stick some more spikes on the tops of my shoulders and also a couple on my actual neck itself. I'm then going to pop in a pair of blue contact lenses. These are the Pixie Blue lenses by camoeyes.com. I shall leave a link to those in the description bar below for you if you want to pick up a pair. I'm then just going to line my lower waterline with a white eyeliner pencil to remove any of those flesh tones, as well as add a few more scales to the top of the forehead going back a little bit, as well as some more white scales on the neck and chest area. And once you've added those few finishing touches, this is the end result. The makeup is complete. You are now a White Walker dragon. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, remember to rate, comment and subscribe, and let me know down below if there's any videos you want to see from me soon, and I'll make sure I get those done for you. But yeah, you can also now follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'll leave links to those in the description bar below for you. But until the next video guys, I'll see you all soon.